Brookhaven is usually quiet at night, the kind of quiet that feels safe. But yesterday, something felt different. As I walked past the old houses on my street, I noticed one window glowing, just one. A faint light, flickering like someone was moving inside. At first, I thought it was nothing. Maybe someone couldn't sleep. But then I saw a shadow, tall, slow, pacing back and forth. The strange part? No one had lived in that house for months. And as I stood there watching, the shadow suddenly stopped. Like it knew I was there. Like it was staring right back at me. He moved in at exactly 3 a.m. No truck. No noise. Just a single figure walking into the house. He didn't bring furniture, or boxes, or anything that made sense. And every night since, his lights turn on at 2:59 a.m. Not a second earlier. Not a second later. It's like he's following a schedule only he understands. I watched from across the street, trying to convince myself it was nothing. But the way he moved, slow, deliberate, it didn't feel normal. Sometimes he paced. Sometimes he stood perfectly still for minutes. And every time he paused, I felt like he was staring straight through the window, at me. I decided to introduce myself. Maybe I was overthinking it. But when I knocked on the door, no one answered. I knocked again. Still nothing. The house was silent. Then the door creaked open, slowly, like someone was standing behind it. But when I looked inside, the hallway was completely empty. I walked around the side of the house, hoping to find a clue. That's when I saw the footprints, muddy, fresh, leading toward the backyard. Some prints looked human, but others were stretched, twisted, wrong. They circled the yard like someone, or something, had been pacing. And all of them stopped at the same place, right in front of the fence. On the fence, carved deep into the wood, was a strange symbol. It glowed faintly, like it was alive, pulsing with a soft blue light. I reached up to touch it, but the air around it felt cold, colder than the night. And for a moment, I swear the symbol flickered, like it reacted to me. That night, I followed him. I kept my distance, staying in the shadows. He walked past the houses, past the stores, toward the abandoned school. The fog was thick, rolling across the ground like it was hiding something. He didn't look around. He didn't hesitate. He moved like he'd done this 100 times. And then, he slipped behind the school and disappeared. When I reached the corner, he was gone. Completely gone. I searched the area, and that's when I found it, a hidden door behind the school. It was cracked open, just enough for a dim yellow light to spill out. The staircase inside was steep, leading down into darkness. Every instinct told me to leave, but curiosity pulled me forward. With each step, the air grew colder, heavier, quieter. And at the bottom, I saw a room I wish I'd never found. The room was filled with old Brookhaven files stacked to the ceiling. Missing person posters covered the walls, some dating back years. Dusty shelves held boxes labeled with names I recognized from town. And on the far wall, a giant map of Brookhaven. Several houses were circled in red, marked like targets. And then I saw it. My house was one of them. I woke up suddenly, not sure why. The room was quiet, but something felt wrong. The hallway light was on, even though I knew I turned it off before bed. That's when I saw it, a note sitting on my desk. I didn't put it there. And the handwriting wasn't mine. I sat up slowly, staring at the note from across the room. My heart was pounding, but I couldn't look away. The clock on the wall ticked loudly. 2:58 a.m. Just 1 minute before the time written on the note. Tonight. 2:59 a.m. I felt like someone was watching me, like I wasn't alone in the room. And as the clock ticked closer to 2:59, the hallway light flickered. I froze. A shadow stretched across my floor, but nothing was moving in the hallway. The hallway light flickered again, like something had just walked past it. I leaned closer and noticed scratch marks on the doorframe, fresh ones. I didn't want to leave the room, but something was pulling me toward the hallway. And then I saw it, something lying on the floor. Something he must have dropped. It was a key. Old, scratched, and heavier than it looked. When I picked it up, the metal felt ice cold, like it had been outside. There were symbols carved into it, the same ones I saw on the fence. I didn't know what the key opened, but I had a feeling it wasn't anything good. And then I heard it, a soft creak from outside. Like someone was waiting. A silhouette stood in the fog, not moving, just watching my house. I knew what I had to do. The key, the note, the shadow. It all pointed back to the basement. When I reached the school, the basement door was already open, like it was waiting for me. The key slid into a lock I hadn't noticed before, and it turned with a loud click. The staircase felt longer this time, like it was pulling me deeper underground. At the bottom, the basement split into two paths, one dark, one glowing red. And down the red hallway, I saw something move. Something waiting for me.